Mad Hatter's execution takes place at dawn in the Red Queen's courtyard. Originally, the morning was described as a red sailor dawn. As we experimented with the color palette, we started to lean towards a more traditional warm morning sun with cool shadows. Careful attention was paid to make sure that we didn't get a lot of green in the transition areas between sunlight and shadow. We also needed to be mindful of the contrast of the images, because there needed to be a clear distinction between sun and shadow, but we also wanted to be able to see detail in both areas. Matte paintings were created 360 degrees around the courtyard, with an emphasis placed on the sky and the entry to the courtyard. Layers of haze, steam, and dust build up the atmosphere in the courtyard to help give shots a sense of depth. Courtiers were shot on separate locked-off plates and projected onto simple geometry. Tracking was done in 3D and at times in 2D. In some cases, individual people were split out of their plates so that they could be locked to the ground when the perspective changed drastically. All live-action characters would then be color-corrected to fit into the environment. Rotosplines would often be created to separate the key and shadow sides of the characters so that the proper color could be achieved for each. The Queen was shot on a 4K plate so her head could be made larger compared to her body without losing detail. Special attention is paid to how the neck warps into the collar of her dress, and other proportions like her shoulders and waist are subtly changed. After the courtiers are added to the plate, the shots are reframed to work with their new proportions. For the Tweedles, Matt Lucas was shot in 2 takes and then split together to get the final performance. The animation was done to match the live-action performance. The plate of the Tweedles' faces would then be composited into the CG. Finally, any discrepancies between the CG and live-action faces would be reconciled by a combination of 2D tracking and image warping to make sure that the elements locked together.